Our first guest tonight is an Academy Award-winning actress you know from films such as The Piano, The Incredibles, and The Big Sick. She stars in Mr. Mayor, which returns tomorrow night here on NBC. Let's take a look.
Is there something you need from me, Arpie?
I need you to explain to me why you think our administration needs outside help from a bunch of boss babies.
Because if there's anything I've learned after a year in government, it's that we should do everything differently.
Hey, man, I'm your most progressive. America Ferrera told me to settle down at the Women's March.
Please welcome back to the show our friend Holly Hunter, everyone. Hello! It is so lovely to have you back here.
Oh, thanks, you.
No, you were a long time New Yorker. Does it make you happy to be back in the city?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I love doing Mr. Mayor in L.A. because L.A. is so set up for work. I mean,
yes.
If you need something yesterday, they can do it.
Yep.
But it's always a pleasure to come home. You know,
Yeah.
I've been here since 1980, and it's my home.
What was, so 1980, you're a young actor in the business. I'm assuming your first apartments here were not super nice?
No, I mean, really, it was like me or the cockroaches.
Yeah. I think in 1980, cockroaches were legally allowed to vote in the city.
Yeah, I mean, like when you turn the lights out, they came out.
Yeah.
You know, it was their time.
It was their time. Did you ever find this? My first apartment in New York had a cockroach problem, and I always thought the interesting thing was when one died, it would like walk to the middle of the kitchen and then flip over there. Like, as a way of saying, I just want you to know I was here the whole time. My entire life was spent in your walls.
Yes, and no one comes out and takes them. You would think they would carry their dead, but they don't.
No, it's nothing. Yeah. Or maybe they do. Maybe they drag them out, and then they all scutter back. Yeah.
But mainly, they lived in my silverware drawer. I mean, that's where I would, you know, in the middle of the night, it was like, yeah.
No, I mean, you were doing pretty well if you had a silverware drawer. They didn't live in mine because it was just white plastic wrapped in. It was all the takeout.
Yeah, the takeout stuff.
Yeah. You also lived in Pittsburgh. You went to Carnegie Mellon, which is also where your co-star Ted Danson went to school, although different times. Let's be honest. Ted is, I mean,
oh my God,
so much older than you.
It's like a dinosaur.
I mean, we could talk about him because he's not here, but he's just a very old man. But so this is interesting. You went back. It's a wonderful theater school. You went back and you taught a class recently.
Well, you know, I thought it was going to be really fun.
Yeah.
And kind of stress-free to go talk to the students and, like, moderate their acting classes and maybe give them some direction. And the person who was taking me around said, "Oh, I hope you don't mind. Judd Apatow is going to be in the acting class today." I was like, "What?" And so his daughter was thinking about going to Carnegie.
Yeah.
So he was in the class the entire time that I was like directing, and it was so. I mean, I knew I was going to be found out as a complete fraud. But anyway, he was absolutely lovely. And then after that, I ended up working with him on The Big Sick. So I didn't do terribly.
You didn't do terribly. You were secretly auditioning. You know who's mad is all the kids that you were teaching them, and they're like, and she's the one who got the part. She was supposed to be teaching us. And then Apatow's like, oh, who's this teacher up there? Yeah. Do you think you're did you feel like, I mean, obviously you probably had great acting teachers coming up. Did you feel like you could impart wisdom as an acting teacher yourself?
No.
Yeah. I think I've had great teachers, but I don't know if I'd be a great teacher. I think it's two different things. Yeah.
No, it's a completely different thing. I mean, I just wanted to be kind to those kids because you know, I can't really impart wisdom.
Yeah.
I can't tell people what to do. I mean, you know, whenever you tell somebody, like, the best way to do it, they do it the opposite way, and they're, you know, incredibly successful. So I don't.
The other thing is certainly in a small period of time that you were with each student, like, you probably can't tell enough about what kind of actor each kid is to, like, give them,
totally
the best path forward,
Yeah, I mean, no, I would never be that presumptuous.
Yeah, you work with an incredible ensemble cast. Mr. Mayor is Tina Fey, Robert Carlock.
Yes.
I'm lucky enough to call both of them friends. They're both like the funniest people in the world, but they're also like brilliant scientists. The way they build comedy has an incredible amount of patience and craft to it.
Such a great way to put it. They are like scientists.
Yeah.
You know, because they're so interested in character. It's not, they're so funny, but they're not just, they're so character-driven writers. So once again, you know, they're so particular with each one of the cast members. I mean, Tina's direction is just brilliant.
Yeah. As an actor, it must be so great to be with somebody who knows exactly what they want, like that they can ask for it and you can deliver it.
Yeah, you can just feel free
Yeah.
to really to jump. You can just jump off the cliff, and you know you're going to be caught.
You mentioned Tina being wonderful as a director. You worked with probably one of the finest female directors we know, Jane Campion, in The Piano. And now, Power of the Dog, she's nominated for an Oscar. It's really exciting. Yeah. I mean, that's 1994, you do The Piano. And what was that experience like to work with someone? Did you know Jane at all before you did that film?
No, but I just adore her and love her, and this is just the greatest thing. I could almost, you know, burst out crying right now. I'm so thrilled for her.
Yeah.
You know, she's an artist. She is an artist of the first degree. She's, you know, a completely silly person. She's totally
That's good to hear.
Absurdly funny.
I mean, so it's interesting because I talked to Benedict Cumberbatch, who obviously is wonderful in the film and nominated as well, and he was saying, you know, when he went into this, he was a little intimidated because, of course, she was at that point Jane Campion. Did you feel the same thing when you did The Piano? At what point in her career was it, or did you know? Were you like, oh my God, it's Jane Campion?
An Angel at My Table, I thought was extraordinary. Sweetie was amazing. So yeah, Jane came with a certain calling card. There was a pedigree there that I knew about.
Yeah. So having kids that I'm slowly introducing animated films to, do kids, especially with The Incredibles, do they ever hear your voice and know that you are one of The Incredibles?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that exciting?
Yeah, it's actually it's kind of heartbreaking. I love it.
Are they all happy about it? Because my kids...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but you know what's so weird about The Incredibles? There was 13 years between the first one and the second one. Like, I get people who are like 20 who are rabid fans, and I'm not really used to that.
Yeah.
That's cool because they caught Incredibles Part 2, and they love it as well. So it's such a cool swinging door.
Yeah, that's a real... anything that expands the fan base, right?
True.
Look, it's a business, Holly. Let's be honest. Hey, thanks so much for being here. It's always such a delight to talk to you.
Pleasure.
Holly Hunter, the second season of Mr. Mayor premieres tomorrow night here on NBC.